As long as I can remember, I mean, I've always loved art. The first thing that got me interested in art was my grandmother's quilts. My mother is a storyteller. My uncle was a wood carver. And also my father, he loved music, and he loved jazz, and he loved all forms of music. So that was what stimulated me, because we always had art in the house, and we always had some form of artistic activities. Wood is a medium that you could never duplicate again. There's too many factors that can't be repeated. The wood has a different grain to it, it has a different color to it, and you might get a piece that might split while you're carving it. So everything is always different. With the other mediums, they're what I call repeat mediums. You can make a mold, but with wood is just, and wood has a warm feel to it. It's something that invites people to touch it. As well, the other materials for me, they're not as inviting. The question I'm always asked is, why are the hands and feet so large? The hands represent from the largeness of people who are willing to work. The feet, as most people say, because they're like the roots of a tree that's planted in a certain place and can't be removed. It means that they're rooted. One thing that I find so gratifying is when somebody walks up to a sculpture and touches it. My sculptures are sculptures that you have to actually touch and be surrounded by. A compliment is when someone touches it, when somebody stands back from it. It's almost as if you didn't do what you were supposed to do as an artist. The work should be inviting. And I think a lot of what I do in my work is a tribute to those people who came before me. The artists from the Harlem Renaissance, they were a big influence on me. I'm not necessarily talking about the artists who were in New York at the time, but the artists that I grew up with in Florida, such as my uncle, some of the teachers that I had, because at that time, that's one of the most creative periods where African-American artists were really recognized. And so my work has some of the same characteristics. The abstraction of the hands and the feet, sometimes the storytelling panels that I do. Art has always been a part of my life. I couldn't see it being any other way, and I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I don't think that I would want to go one day without either thinking or seeing art. I don't think I could make it. That was one of the reasons when I was younger that I never used drugs, that I always stayed out of trouble, because I always had something to do. I had a fuel of an energy in me that took me in a different direction, so I could see things different, you know. And that's what I think it does. It gives you a broader vision. It also gives you an acceptance of people.